Preseason week 1 is in the books, and in this video, we're going to talk about the good, bad, and the ugly for the Lions' victory over the New York Giants, 21-16. A lot to cover, and it's really good. A lot of good. I got to say, a lot of good. Not a lot of cheeks, a lot of good. It feels good that football's back. It feels good to actually see Detroit Lions football. I don't know about you guys, but it just was all right. We're going to go and start with the defense here because the defense and the defensive line of the Detroit Lions won this game. The defensive line is absolutely ridiculous from beginning to end. A lot of footballs to go around for the Detroit Lions defense. For the amount of sacks that they got and what they have done. And it starts with the Okwara brothers. Julian Okwara, 3 sacks in this football game, folks. 3 sacks. Julian Okwara looked bigger, he looked stronger, and he was absolutely dominant in this football game. Julian Okwara is the defensive player, in my opinion, of this game. Not only was he consistently getting pressure, but he was getting sacks and he was getting to the quarterback. He had pressures all around. He is my defensive player of the game. And coming into this game, I was thinking that Julian Okwara was on the outside looking in. After this game, he is in the inside in. That's how dominant he looked out there. And he deserves all the credit in the world for coming in here and just absolutely exploiting the New York Giants offensive line. So, let me know in the comment section right now, who is your defensive MVP from week 1 preseason Lions versus Giants? Continue the shout out with this defensive line. How about we talk about Romeo Okwara with a sack as well? Romeo Okwara, just like his brother, was getting on the action, and it was exactly what the Lions needed from the edge rushers. I know a lot of people are thinking, well, the Romeo brothers, they're going to let him go. It took a pay cut. I don't think that's the case at all. I think that they're good to go for sure. Benito Jones, another rotational player, got a sack as well on the interior of the defensive line. Absolutely dominant. And it just continues on there for Detroit when it comes to that. Literally, you had John Kaminsky in there. You had players like Broderick Martin had a tackle for loss. Just really outstanding from the defensive line. Every single player on there. Levi Uzurike got in the action. Tackle for loss, even though he didn't get exploited on one possession. Right there. Let's jump to the linebackers. Jack Campbell absolutely dominated in one whole series that he was in there. It was the Jack Campbell show. He showed his speed, sideline to sideline, and his fierce decision to make a decision, go up there and make that tackle. Jack Campbell, worth the 18th pick in the draft. He is ready to go. He looks really good. He's fast, smart, and big, and he can tackle. Absolutely. Malcolm Rodriguez looked like Malcolm Rodriguez doing what he does best. Brian Branch, to me, was so outstanding with his speed to tackle. It shocked me. He looked like a missile. He looked like a player who's going to make a big impact for the Detroit Lions 23 NFL season. Brian Branch steal the draft, showed every reason why he's a Detroit Lion and why he is the steal of this draft. Brian Branch, outstanding. Outstanding. 3 solo tackles by Brian Branch. 3 solo tackles by this young man. Really good, and they were good tackles. Very good tackles. Just so good to see the Lions' defensive line absolutely dominate for this football team. Isaiah Buggs looked good. I didn't see a whole lot from Joshua Pascal. Some of these guys you're just not going to see because it's preseason. One player who I did not feel perform well, Will Harris. Will Harris was a letdown. Will Harris looked bad. I don't think he makes the team. I've been on his case for a couple years now. For sure, Xavier Smith looked well as an undrafted rookie. I think he does make the team. Xavier Smith over Will Harris any day of the week. Brady Breeze looked good. I don't know if he really makes the team, but played well. Maurice Alexander, how about special teams here? Gets a 95-yard kick return for a touchdown. Maurice Alexander has that it factor regarding trying to, get the big hole for special teams. He can run around. He can do his jukes. The guy just has he did it last year too, and this time he went all the way for the home run. I hope he makes the team because he can be a difference maker if you can have that player who can get a touchdown on special teams. He really can. I know Khalif Raymond can do it as a punt returner. Imagine having Khalif Raymond and Maurice Alexander as your special teams guys. That's dangerous weapons right there in special teams. Special teams continues. Romeo Parker made the field goal. Obviously, good for him. Making the field goal. But the field goal kickers, Riley Patterson made the field goal as well. They're both 1 for 1 for that. And I don't know who's ahead of the schedule for that one. But right now, do you want Maurice Alexander to make the team? Why for yes and for no? It's going to be a pinned comment for this video. Let's continue on here with the Detroit Lions offense. We're going to start with the ugly first. Nate Sudfeld, also known as Nate Sudfeld or Dudfield. Absolutely atrocious. 15 for 28. 2 interceptions, 194 yards. His passes were awful. His passes were off target. His passes were slow. Nate Sudfeld may be cut tomorrow. That's how bad he played tonight. Sudfeld was trash, and a lot of people wanted to know why Teddy Bridgewater was signed to the Lions. The reason he was signed to the Lions because Nate Sudfeld stunkfilled. He was terrible. You do not want him on this roster if Jared Goff goes down. It's an automatic L. To me, he should be cut immediately. His passes were atrocious. One was 3 yards ahead of Jamison Williams. You cannot be that inaccurate in a quarterback in the National Football League. 3 yards over the head of Jamison Williams. How is that even possible? I don't know. It is Tim Boyle type style. The man shouldn't be in the NFL. Adrian Martinez, 4 for 7, 37 yards. And he got a touchdown with his legs. Adrian Martinez showed growth and maturity. I will take Adrian Martinez over Nate Sudfeld. When Martinez was in there, the offense flowed. When Martinez was in there, the offense scored. Martinez has a chance to make the roster. If not, he'll be a practice squad guy, and which is really good. But Sudfeld should be cut tomorrow. They should be perfectly fine with Teddy Bridgewater, Martinez, and Hendon Hooker. Whatever they want to go there. Benny Snell looked really good. I think he's ahead right now of Ozigbo and Mo Ibrahim as the running back. He looked really solid, missing tackles. Now, granted, the offensive line played better for him, but he showed burst at the line, and I like what I saw from Snell for the running back position. I think he's ahead. I think he is. Now, Ozigbo had a little bit more yards, but he also had 11 carries for 31, and Snell had a 6 for 23. I felt like Snell was a little bit better at a 3.8 average. He had the head of the running back room for that final spot. Wide receivers here, we're going to start with Jamison Williams. He had 4 targets, 3 receptions, 1 he dropped for a touchdown. That was the first one. But after that, let's give Jamison Williams some credit. 3 straight receptions, 2 just shown what he can do, and it was 2 for 18, but he also did the 2-point conversion. So Jamison Williams showed improvement after that first drive. It's good for him. It's a development. Dylan Drummond, he's been the training camp darling, 2 for 12. He had a big drop. He fell. Look, we talk about it. People in training camp may be great, but when the lights are on, sometimes it doesn't show. Okay? Jahmyr Gibbs looks amazing. Jahmyr Gibbs is everything. He was catching the football, running the football. Now you know why he's the 12th pick in the draft. He's going to be a stud for the Lions offense. Love what I saw from him. 1 reception, 18 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs is it. James Mitchell, I thought he did fantastic as the Lions tight end. He had 3 for 53. He was the breakout player at tight end. Laporta made a drop. James Mitchell come in here and did his job. Chase Cota, also known as Tom Kennedy, 4 for 60, looked really good. If he keeps this up in 2 more preseason games, Chase Cota should legitimately have a chance to make this roster. He looks like Tom Kennedy. He does. I like what I saw from him. Brock Wright being Brock Wright, pretty good. Antoine Green, 3 for 36. Green looked better than Dylan Drummond, so I'm going to put Green ahead of him right now. We didn't see Mills. We don't know, anything about him. Jason Kabinda looked bad. Jason Kabinda not making probably the team at this point, if you ask me. Offensive line was brutal. I felt like it was just not good enough in the second team. I thought the third team offensive line was much improved. The second team offensive line, it was kind of brutal to watch. I don't think anybody really stood out to me at all on the interior. Didn't have anyone that says, you know what, I'm taking this position here. We're talking about backups here, but that's kind of the takeaway that I took from it. Biggest takeaways, just when I look at it all here, is the Detroit Lions defense is much improved. Much improved. They're faster. They're stronger. They have more burst. They're more lightning. The Lions defense is improved. And if they can show this continued improvement in the regular season, the Lions are definitely going to win the NFC North. They look monstrous out there. I know some of these guys are not going to be playing in the game, but they look so much faster than last year. It has a smile on my face. It truly does. This was the weakness of the Lions team, is the defense, and they look more athletic, faster, stronger, and better. They just do. And I've watched this team throughout the years. This defense is fast. This defense looks good. And if they can do this in the regular season, Lions win in the NFC North and they can make a run. With this offense, absolutely no doubt about it. Folks, in the comment section, I want you to tell me who you think the MVP of the whole game is. Just put in the name right there who you think won the game. For me, a lot of good players. With that said, folks, adios.